Alright everyone, welcome back to Joyman's Land. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's a dreary day here in the old YYC, which made me think it was a perfect day to do a video I wanted to do for quite some time. There are two things in this world I love outside of my fiancé and family, and those two things are Nikon and Nickleback. But these two things have something very key in common. They are used as punching bags by both the music and camera community as a whole. So today's video is going to be talking about, is Nikon Nickleback, and also a special message I have for Nikon at the end.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
So let's get into some comparisons. Nickelback was the top grossing rock band of the 2000s, and during this time, Nikon was also leading the way in the DSLR camera market. Both were simultaneously crushing it, and the hate hadn't begun yet. Nickelback and I are both a product of Alberta, so being a young Albertan during the early 2000s, I began to learn to vibe to Nickelback at a very young age. And during this time, I also grew a strong love for Nikon through all the different National Geographic magazines my dad had kicking around near the entrance to the bathroom.
Upon realizing a trip would be smelly and gross, our crew decided to stay in the office.
For me, there were two key things. Rock and roll meant Nickelback, and Nikon meant photography, adventure photography, going out into the world, seeing amazing things, and capturing it in amazing detail with killer colors that were unmatched. Things were cruising sky high, but then the 2000s came to an end. MTV and MySpace weren't popular anymore, LimeWire had gone the way of the dinosaur, and these two iconic fixtures of my life had begun their fall from grace. The first to come crashing down was in 2011 when Nikon released their very first mirrorless camera, the J1.
One day, everything changes.
Which crashed like the Hindenburg. And later that year, in 2011, Nickelback released arguably their worst album ever, Here and Now. I have a copy of it, don't judge me. This wasn't the end, obviously. Nickelback put out lots of great music after this, and were recently put into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. And Nikon put out amazing DSLRs for years, got some mirrorless cameras out, and eventually created the Z9, which arguably, at least in my mind, is the best hybrid camera to date. Now these days, it does seem like Nickelback has hung up the gloves. You know, they're doing a few victory tours around the world and obscure locations I can't think of, but has Nikon also done the same thing? Yes, they put out the Z9, which was a killer camera like 2 years ago, and the rest of us Nikonians have feverishly been waiting for a new camera to drop. Meanwhile, the jokes continue to flow like Yo Mama zingers in grade 3.
Your mother's so fat that when she jumped for joy, she got stuck.
Yes, Nikon was a photo-first brand in the past, but their video specs on the Z9 are amazing. But if they could promote that just a little bit more and put some of those amazing specs and some of the more prosumer bodies, they could dominate the market with probably what would ultimately be the best full-frame hybrid camera that we've seen so far. Canons take forever to switch from photo to video mode. And for Sony's, you need a flight manual just to get one thing changed with the color profile you're using. Having photo and videos of the same quality coming out of one camera is something that we're missing right now, and is something that a lot of content creators as well as marketers would love. Currently, my Z6, which is what you're seeing me through right now, does every single thing I need it to, and I'm not really looking at replacing it. But if I was, the Z9 is out of my price bracket and is honestly just a little bit too big for what I'm looking for. Some of you may not know this, but I work in the field of marketing, and I need one camera, one that can do everything that I need. The next camera in the evolution of my gear is a Z6 III. I'm talking a 27 to 32 megapixel sensor. I'm talking 4K 120, 6K 30, all of it full frame with no crop, and with 10-bit internal and log recording. But in them creating a camera that's like this, they're gonna do so much for their brand, and they're gonna get so many content creators and other marketers to come over. But yes, My current Z6 paired with my FTZ2 adapter and my swath of f-mount lenses will be what I use for the foreseeable future. And if you're watching this video and you're curious what I'm using, check out my left hand here. It goes into some of my favorite f-mount glass that I currently own and use on this channel all the time. But I would still like to see Nikon take a super aggressive approach, put out a camera that appeals to a wider demo, and will help put them back on the map of one of the major brands people consider. Alright Nikon, so this message is for you and you alone. Imagine, I'm Tom Hanks, you're Spalding, and we're stranded on an island, just the two of us. Well, I want to help you and be friends with you and help promote some of your newest gear that's going to help content creators as well as marketers such as myself. Yes, most of the content on this channel is devoted to talking about Nikon and gear, but I do have a website which you can check out just below, jodigital.ca, which hosts a bit more of my portfolio. But here's the reality, I can't get into NPS. You have to have 2 pro camera bodies. I am a pro and I only need 1 camera body. I don't have the luxury to carry around more than 1 camera at a time. My gear bank is filled with my laptop, my lenses that I use on this camera, and then my other 2 cameras are my Pocket 2 as well as my Mini 3 Pro drone. Those things combined with the need to sometimes carry a tripod and a gimbal means I don't really have room for more camera bodies. And I don't really want more camera bodies. Most of the time when I'm going out to shoot, it's just me. Or if I'm at a work thing, it's just me. I don't have extra hands. I don't need those extra angles. None of my videos, even this one, are really bullying Nikon, you as a brand. It's instead to get people fired up and talking about your dope products and things that you launch on a yearly basis. The times of Nikonians feeling like they've contracted a parasite while ice fishing in Iceland are done. And the shame that some feel when other camera users look at their Nikon and go, "Oh, what's that?" That's also over. So to heck with those who hate the brand. Let's keep taking bangers and don't let people get you down. Enjoy what you have, no matter what camera it is, even if it's not a Nikon. Alright, so end of rant. Do you guys agree with me that Nikon is kind of Nickelback in terms of people's perception, or am I totally out to lunch and stranded in the Bermuda Triangle of Nikon speculation? Tell me your thoughts below and tell me which camera you think Nikon should come out with this year and why. And Nikon, if you're watching this video, I want to talk to you. Hit me up at this special email I created just for this video and let's get talking. Let's create some amazing content together that will get people as jazzed about the brand as I am. But let's leave this one here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to take beautiful photos every single day. Don't do it for the views, do it for yourself. And if you're watching this and you're a Nikon user, be proud, scream it from the rooftops. See you in the next one.
Nikon.